Record. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for joining me today. This session is going to cover tanning tips and the stages of tanning, so the before, during and after. We will cover individual lotion tips and ingredient tips in other sessions, but for now we're just going to be covering the tanning tips, as I say, and the stages of tanning. So here we go. So the first thing is preparation. Preparation is key. We always recommend exfoliation or hair removal, so waxing or shaving 24 to 48 hours before tanning. This is to prepare the skin ready to receive the UV. And also, if you're tanning with a bronzer and then you're waxing or shaving afterwards, the colour will be stripped from the surface of the skin. So it needs to be done prior to tanning. Also, remove makeup. We always recommend that you remove makeup immediately before tanning, along with deodorant or jewellery. The reason being, with makeup, the heat from the sunbed actually opens the skin's pores, and the makeup could get driven into them, so that will block the pores. It could cause spots. Jewellery, we always recommend that we remove that, because that can scratch the acrylics, and also if you're wearing jewellery and it gets hot, it could burn the skin. Likewise with deodorant, antiperspirant obviously stops the sweating, so that could cause a heat rash, and delayed bronzers can react and turn that lotion turn the lotion green, so if you're wearing deodorant, so we always recommend that you remove that. We do have face mates, which we do recommend for makeup removal. This is a cleanser and pre-tan conditioner, so it prepares the skin for better tanning results. It's a mild cleansing formula. It gently removes skin impurities, and it has hemp seed oil, which protects and conditions the skin, and green tea to protect from fine lines and wrinkles. Eye protection should always be worn when you're on the sunbed. I always say it's like wearing a seatbelt in the car. You know, it's an important piece of safety equipment. You should always wear eye protection when you go on the bed, because if you don't, the UV rays can actually burn the eyes. Now, some people say, oh, but you know, if I wear eye protection, I'm not going to tan my eyelids. Eyelids don't tan. They don't produce sufficient melanin in order to get a colour. Other people say, oh, but if I wear goggles and I've got the, you know, elastic, I'm going to get tan lines. The only reason that you'll get tan lines on the sunbed is if you overexpose. So overexposure is what gives you those tan lines. So make sure that you're going on the bed for the correct number of minutes. It is the salon's responsibility to provide eye protection, so make sure that that's always provided. You only get one pair of eyes, so make sure that you look after them. Also, another thing to note is that if you cover your face with a towel or a t-shirt, that's insufficient protection from UV. That only gives you the equivalent of an SPF 5. It lets over 80% of the UV through. So, you know, covering your face is not sufficient to protect your eyelids or protect your eyes. So we need lotion, but why do we need lotion? It's obvious. It gives us deeper, longer lasting results, and you tan quicker. Our lotions are specifically designed by tanners for tanners to guarantee the best results in the shortest time possible. They actually put all the goodness and the nutrients back into the skin that are lost due to the tanning process. Lotion actually helps prepare the skin to receive UV light. It's similar to a nail preparation. If you imagine that as a 3-step process. So you put your base coat on, then you apply the polish, and then a top coat. if you think of it as tanning is your sort of your lotion, so you put your lotion as your base coat, your tan is your polish, and your tan extender is your top coat. So it helps to give you better, longer lasting tan. And the more you pay, the better the ingredients, the tan will last longer. All of the lotions are loaded with vitamins and essential fatty acids, nutrients to help feed and repair, regenerate skin cells, rejuvenate the skin for a more youthful complexion, and overall better skin condition. Lotions also help you tan through the layers. So once the top layer of skin has been removed due to the natural exfoliation process, the skin underneath is already tanned. So what we say is invest in your tan, spend money on lotion to help save time and money later on, you know, whether it's in the number of tanning sessions, the number of minutes, or even, you know, if it's to do with parking. If you're having to go into the tanning salon sort of 3 or 4 times a week and you're having to pay for parking, or maybe, you know, get on a bus, do park and ride, that sort of thing, not only will it help save you time, but it will help save you money as well. So dry skin reflects light. Frequently exposed skin actually loses moisture and begins to create a protective shield, almost like a natural SPF in the tanning bed. So, you know, you're only getting a surface tan, you're not tanning through the layers. Dry skin peels and flakes, and the tan fades very, very quickly. Also, you're wasting the first 3 minutes of your tanning session if you're not using a lotion. And it's been proven that by using a lotion, you can actually double your tan results depending on the condition of your skin. So again, using a lotion helps to save time and money because you're not just getting a surface tan, you're tanning through the layers. When should you apply lotion? Now, applying lotion should be done immediately before tanning, no more than 10 minutes before application, or sorry, before the tanning session. I quite often hear, you know, customers will come in the salon and say, oh, that's okay, I don't need a lotion because I put it on this morning and it's now the afternoon. It's great that they're using a tanning lotion, but it needs to be used at the correct time for it to work effectively. If they apply it in the morning and they tan in the afternoon, it will not give the best results. Lotion is designed to start working straight away, and the act of them getting dressed or undressed could actually rub the lotion off the surface of the skin, so that will give uneven results. Unlike an SPF, a sun protection factor, which you use for outdoor tanning only, should be applied 20 to 30 minutes before sun exposure. So make sure that your customers know the difference. It's very important that they know the difference between an indoor tanning lotion and an outdoor tanning lotion. The only time an SPF would be used for indoor tanning would be to cover scars or moles if you have hyperpigmentation, or also tattoos or microblading. We do have specific products which help for all of these things. So something like the tattoo stick is really, really good for covering tattoos, because it will keep the skin nice and hydrated, but it will protect the tattoos from fading. It will keep the colors nice and bright. And because it's an SPF 50, you can actually use it for hyperpigmentation or for microblading, that sort of thing. But that's the only time really that you'd use an SPF on a sunbed. We do have different face products as well. You should always apply a face lotion before you apply your body lotion. We do have specific face products, things like the Aloe Mate, the Smooth Faces and the Crystal Faces. So we have different face products because your normal lotions, things like, you know, our Troublemaker or our Accelerator, our Hot, They are specifically body lotions. They are designed to apply on the body, but they could be too thick or too heavy for the face. They could block pores. They could cause breakouts or spots. They're not absorbed properly, whereas on the body they're absolutely fine. Also, if you have sensitive areas like the face, or any skin sensitivities, they're more likely to be sensitive to things like fragrance. And the body lotions, the majority of them are heavily perfumed, whereas our face products are fragrance free, they're hypoallergenic, they're dermatologist tested. They're a lot thinner, so they're not going to block the pores, they're non-comedogenic, and they're also pH balancing. So it's designed that we apply the face lotion first before the body. Similarly, if the customer is using a tingle, they would need to apply the face lotion first, because if they're applying the tingle on the body and then they apply it to the face, or put the face lotion on, sorry, they're going to transfer that tingle. So it's very important that you make sure that your customers are aware of when they should be applying and how they should be applying. And how to apply, in a circular motion, but we'll cover that shortly. So you need lotion. You need to help the customer choose the right product for them. Are they using the right lotion? Make sure that they're using an indoor lotion rather than an outdoor lotion. Check to make sure that they're not using an oil. If they are using an oil, be mindful that oils can be slip hazard in the salon, especially if you've got laminate flooring or tiles. They're also a nightmare to clean off the acrylics and can cause damage if they're not cleaned properly. So always check to make sure that the customer is using the correct products. Similarly, if they're using a tingle, you need to know. So I always ask, what lotion are you using today? Not only is that a really good sales tool, because that will enable you to talk to the customer about lotions and help them choose the products, but it also checks what they're actually using. Always ask that question, what lotion are you using today? Understand your products. If the customer wants dark now, recommend that they use a bronzer. If they want to build a natural tan, maybe recommend an intensifier. If you ask the right questions to find out what results they want to achieve and what their time scale is, it will help you to choose the products easier for them. If they've reached their tanning plateau, recommend a higher bronzing power. Only recommend a tingle if they ask for it. You need to know what lotions work best for different skin tones. So, be mindful of, how the customer tans naturally. Always ask that question as well. Ask, how quickly do they want to see results? How dark do you want to be? If they're building a base tan, or they've built their base tan and they've found that they've got to a tanning plateau, they're not getting any darker, you can recommend that they build to delayed bronzers, and go by the bronzing power in the bronzing products. Recommend multiple lotions as well. The skin gets used to the ingredients and the lotions stop working. Tingles have actually taught us this. So, if they're using a couple of products, maybe they've got, I don't know, these two products here. One has more ingredients or better ingredients in than the other one. It's a higher tanning performance. So, they could do maybe one session with this product and then 2 sessions with a cheaper product. So they're making both products last longer, but they're getting the best out of the ingredients of both products as well. So, it's always best that, they're getting different ingredients. It's a bit like when you go to the gym. you know, if you start off slowly and at first you find it quite difficult, and then after a period of time you're doing the same exercises and they get easier and easier, it's because your muscles are getting used to it. It's very similar. Your skin becomes used to the ingredients in the lotions, so it's always best to chop and change and use different ones, whether it be at the same time or in between tanning sessions. Like I say, with oils, make sure that you know, you're checking that the customer is using products that are designed to be used on indoor tanning equipment. A lot of the outdoor SPFs contain oil, but these can be damaging to the acrylics, and they're, like I said, they're very, very difficult to clean. So you need to find out from the customer what products they're using. Also, different areas of the body need different ingredients. So again, there's specific lotions designed to help with each of these areas. I've already mentioned the face products, but we also have legs products, things like the smooth legs and the dark legs, and also tattoos. So if you've got a tattoo, then you know, you need tattoo specific products. They increase hydration and they also protect the color from fading. I've already mentioned the tattoo stick, so you know, this helps to protect the tattoos from fading. But we also have other products, the JWoww line, the Australian Gold G Gentleman range, things like the Party Animal, all have the color guard tattoo technology. So they actually help to keep the tattoos nice and vibrant. They stop the colors from spreading, but they're also really good if you've got anybody with dry skin, because they add that extra hydration. They're very nourishing, and they keep the tattoos looking at their best. If you have someone with tattoos, you have to make sure that there is no scabbing. The tattoo must have healed completely before tanning, at least 2 weeks after they've had their tattoo done, before they go on the sunbed. Tattoos are expensive, so it makes sense to protect them. The tattoo products do have premium ingredients to keep them looking their best. So now we've decided which lotions we're going to use, how do you apply them? For best results, it's always recommended that you apply in a circular motion. This helps for even coverage and also for microcirculation stimulation. Every lotion, whether it be an intensifier, a bronzer, or even a tan extender, should be applied in a circular motion. There's a few reasons why we need to apply lotion. The act of applying actually helps bring the blood to the skin surface, so it opens up the pores, so it allows for deeper penetration to get the lotion working straight away. So it can, you know, it starts working immediately. Also, the lotions contain a biocide formula, and the tea tree removes bacteria from the skin, which can cause after tan odor. It's not a deodorant, it doesn't mask the smell, but it does neutralize it because it eradicates the bacteria from the skin. So the act of applying the lotion actually removes bacteria buildup. If you're using a delayed bronzer, wash or wipe your hands after use. It's just a precautionary measure to prevent staining. Not all delayed bronzers contain ingredients for immediate color. So if you've got a delayed white bronzer, the customer won't be able to see where they're applying it. So if they apply in an up and down motion, there is a risk of missing bits and it could go streaky on the skin. And it would be more noticeable if they don't have a base tan. Whereas if they apply in a circular motion, you're guaranteed even results. You're not going to miss an area. Excuse me. Delayed bronzers need time to activate. usually between 2 to 4 hours. So the longer they can be left on the skin, the better, and preferably overnight. We always go with a 4-hour rule as a general, but you can leave the lotions on for as long as possible, but a minimum of 4 hours. Again, with the biocide formula, the after tan odor ingredients can actually eliminate that tan odor associated with fake tan. And by the way, bronzers are not fake tan. They have the same ingredients, the DHA and the erythrulose, but in completely different strengths. So there is no need to shower straight away. You know, like I say, minimum of 4 hours, but always wash or wipe hands after going on the sunbed within that 2-hour time period. And again, if the customer is using a tingle, the tingle needs to be allowed to diminish on its own. If you have a shower straight away, any heat source like a shower or going into a sauna or sweating can actually reactivate the tingle. So make sure that you leave the tingle on the skin as long as possible. You do need to wash or wipe your hands after using a tingle, but if you shower, it can reactivate it. And again, tingles should be kept away from the face and sensitive areas. So make sure that that is done. Now, during your tanning session, once you've applied your lotion, you've got your eye protection, you're on your bed, what do you need to do? You need to get moving. For a lay down bed, you can avoid pressure points. Lift your body up. We always recommend for the last minute of your tanning session, sit up. This avoids the smiles underneath your buttocks. Pressure points are actually caused by stopping oxygen getting to the skin. That reduces the amount of melanin that's being oxidized. Melanin needs the oxidization process in order for it to turn brown. So if you're cutting that oxygen supply off from that area of skin, that's why you're going to get that white patch or that pressure point. So, you know, move around. In the stand-up sunbed, make sure you lift your arms up. If there's straps or handles, hold on to them. Arch your back and move your legs, get the circulation going. When I'm in the stand-up, I always do a little jig. I'm always doing a little bit of a dance. Jade squats, more energetic than I am. And obviously, again, if I was to do a squat, chances are I wouldn't get back up again. But she's a lot fitter than I am. Again, for best results, if you can switch between beds, if you have that option in the salon that you have lay downs and stand-ups, do alternate sessions so that you're actually getting even coverage all over, so you're minimizing those white spots or those pressure points. The other thing as well, fans. Now, I've had it said to me so many times, oh, I always turn the fans off because I like to be nice and warm on the sunbed. It's not heat from the sunbed that tans you, it's the light from the sunbed tubes. Heat is actually irrelevant. So, you know, the fans are on the beds for several reasons. Firstly, to make sure that the equipment is running effectively and efficiently. You know, if the fans are switched off and the bed isn't allowed to cool down properly, it's going to break down, and that is going to, you know, cause you problems in the salon. If you've got a bed down, you know, you're not going to get as many customers through, and you know, the call outs and everything, it's going to be expensive. So make sure that the fans are always running, and allowed that 3-minute cool down session that the fans are running. For the customer being on the bed, the fans actually stop you from sweating. So if you're sweating, obviously the lotion's going to be expelled out of the skin, so you're going to get uneven results. Also, the fans help with that air circulating around the body. The more air we have circulating around the body, the better the increases the oxygen to the skin, which again is needed to turn that melanin and convert it quicker. So you get better tan results in a shorter period of time. And on a side note, don't take your mobile phone into the bed with you. Again, I can't understand how many people say to me, oh, I go on the bed and I check my emails. No, don't do that. You know, the heat from the sunbed can actually damage the phone, but also, you know, take the time out, get away from the kids, get away from your stresses of life, go and lay on the sunbed and have a nice relaxing tanning session. Don't worry about your phone, leave that behind, leave that outside the bed, go and enjoy yourself, make the most of it. So 4-hour rule after tanning. You know, you've had your tanning session, I've already covered, make sure you leave the lotions on for at least 4 hours. If it's an intensifier or a natural bronzer, it lets the active ingredients work properly. They're absorbed into the skin and they're actually, you know, putting the goodness back in that you lose to that UV exposure. If it's a tingle, you need to double clean the acrylics, you need to double clean all surfaces. Now obviously, you know, we're cleaning a lot more now with the COVID-19 anyway. We've always had good hygiene practices when it comes to cleaning down the equipment in between customers, but even more so now. But you must make sure with a tingle that all surfaces that the customer could have touched, so whether it's handles, door handles, the acrylics, that they are cleaned, because the tingles can transfer. Also make sure that the customer is aware that the tingle can transfer. So if they've got babies or children or small pets, don't go home and cuddle them, because, you know, that tingle could get on the child or on the animal. Tingles should be used for experienced tanners only, never on the face area or anywhere sensitive, and only if you are an experienced tanner with a base tan. If you give a tingle to a person who has never used a sunbed before, so a tingle virgin, you could put them off for life. Tingles are like Marmite, you either love them or hate them. There's no in between. Make sure that you wash or wipe your hands after use, and any heat sources like showers, saunas, gym or sweating will actually reactivate the tingle. So, you know, keep it on the skin for at least 4 hours for best results and let it diminish on its own. If the customer has used a delayed bronzer, the delayed bronzers take 2 to 4 hours to start developing on the skin. So they need to be left on the skin for a minimum of 4 hours so that they get the best results. Ideally, the longer you leave it on, the better the results will be. Again, if it's a white delayed bronzer, so it has no immediate color, the application needs to be done properly. So the circular motion to avoid the streaks. White does not mean light, so if there is no base tan and the customer misses an area, it will be more noticeable. All tanning lotions can be used in between tanning sessions as general moisturisers, and you can use delayed bronzers, but I would avoid the ones with heavy delayed bronzers or any with a high DHA or erythrulose content, because these can go scaly on the skin with build-up. Similarly, tingles, we would not use those as everyday moisturizers, but all the other lotions can be used in between tanning sessions to get the best results, to help prepare the skin in between our tanning sessions. So if the customer says their skin if the customer says their tan isn't lasting or it's fading quickly, tell them to check the shower gel or body wash that they're using. Make sure it doesn't contain any alcohol. This will actually strip the tan and cause it to fade quickly. Similarly, hot showers can dry the skin out as well. So make sure that they're using rehydrating lotions afterwards. We do have specific tan extenders. Our Hemp Nation tan extenders that we use, but also we have, alongside the tan extenders, the sea salt and sandalwood or the toasted coconut and marshmallow body washes. So they are actually designed that they don't contain any alcohol, they don't strip the tan or make it fade, but they do put the goodness back into the skin. So they also contain the vitamins and the nutrients that the skin needs that it might have lost during the tanning process. So, you know, the body washes and the tan extenders are fantastic for that. Tan extenders are different to the moisturisers that you buy from the supermarket or from the pharmacy on the high street, because ours don't contain any alcohol and they don't contain any SPF. So again, check if your customers say, oh no, that's okay, I'm using XYZ moisturiser that I've bought from you know, from the pharmacy. Check that it doesn't contain any sun protection factor, because if they're putting that on, it could actually put a barrier on the skin, and then they go in the sunbed, that's going to stop them from tanning. But also if it contains alcohol, it's going to dry the skin and it's going to strip their tan. First time tanners should leave at least 48 hours in between tanning sessions, and they need to have that 48 hours after their first tanning session so that they can see how their skin has reacted to the UV and their set exposure time. Tanning is actually a 2-day process. So from the time that you have your tanning session to the time that your natural tan has fully developed takes 2 days. So, you know, for a first time tanner, it's very, very important that you know, they leave that 48 hours in between their tanning sessions. If there's any redness or pink hue on the skin, they should not tan again until that has died down. Similarly, all experienced tanners or all tanners should leave at least 24 hours between their tanning session. And make sure that you're drinking lots of water to keep the skin hydrated as well after your tanning session. And then that's when you can start preparing for your next tanning session. So I hope that's been helpful to you today. I hope you've got lots of information from me. If there is anything that you need, then, you know, just reach out to us. That's absolutely fine. But thank you very much for attending. Hope you've enjoyed this session, and we'll see you soon.